get up and drive.
Oh, sleep.
No.
An unusual silence wrapped around its ancient stones. The funeral had ended. The last prayers whispered away. Pope Francis was not in the Vatican tombs. He lay here, between the Chapel Palatine and the Chapel Sforza. The Virgin Mary watched over him. He had loved her deeply. Outside, Rome's busy hum returned. Life moved on. But inside the basilica, a solemn hush remained. The scent of incense still hung heavy. It formed an invisible veil. It drifted over the old marble floor, pressed against the cold stone. A small shape trembled. It was a dog, not a grand animal for ceremonies, not a spoiled pet. He was an old dog. His fur was patchy, streaked with gray. His eyes held immense sadness. Even the few priests remaining felt it. His whole body spoke of loyalty. A silent, desperate loyalty. The day before, he had followed the funeral procession. He slipped past velvet ropes. He moved unseen between guards. He navigated the murmuring crowds. No one had the heart to stop him. They thought he would leave after the service, but he did not leave. He found the tomb, and he stayed. 12 times they tried to move him. Each effort failed. An old sacristan brought water. He poured it into a small terracotta bowl. A young nun offered bread. It was wrapped carefully in a napkin. The dog sniffed politely. He licked the water once. Then he turned back. He returned resolutely to his spot near the tomb. He curled up like a small, faithful guard. He refused to abandon his post. Time passed. The vast naves of the basilica emptied. The great bronze doors closed for the night, but the dog remained. He stayed in the holy, flickering light of the candles. He was still, unmoving, beside the one who had seen him differently, not as a stray, not as a nuisance, but as a soul worthy of love. The sun dipped low over Rome. Long golden rays slanted through high windows. Light danced on the aged marble. It rested on the simple tomb of Pope Francis, and there at its foot lay the dog, still faithful, still unwavering. Among the few staff left inside, word spread. They knew about the dog. A decision was made. The animal must be removed. The dignity of the place had to be preserved. A young priest approached. His eyes showed more compassion than severity. He hesitated. "Come, little one," he murmured. "It is time to go." He held out his hand. The dog lifted his head slowly. His eyes met the priest's. They were full of pain. Infinite sadness filled them. The priest gently tried to lift him. A low whimper escaped the dog. The sound was heavy with grief. It echoed like a silent prayer against the old walls. Later, 2 guards were called. They held a soft blanket between them. They tried to carry the dog carefully, but the animal did not resist in the usual way. He did not growl. He did not show his teeth. He simply went limp. His body felt heavy with sorrow. His paws instinctively pressed against the marble, as if trying to anchor himself there. As if the floor itself was the last link. The final connection for his faithful soul. They finally managed it. They carried him gently away from the tomb. They took him to one of the side chapels. The dog lay there for a few moments. He seemed dazed. He blinked in the golden light filtering through stained glass. Then, suddenly, he rose. He stood on trembling legs. His head was low. He followed an invisible trail. He limped slowly back towards the tomb, back towards his friend, back towards his pope. An old canon watched from the shadows. He wiped his tear-filled eyes. He murmured softly, almost to himself, "Sumiko, let him be." His voice trembled slightly. There are no greater prayers than those he offers. That night, they stopped trying. The basilica stayed open later than usual. The great doors were not locked. The tomb was no longer guarded just by marble. A small, brave heart kept watch too. A heart refusing to betray love. Outside, a soft mist wrapped the city. The first candle flames began to flicker. They appeared on the pyres before the basilica. A sign of silent respect. Respect for an act of loyalty. An act that would soon capture the heart of Rome. The news about the dog spread. It moved like wildfire through Rome's ancient, winding streets. A young sacristan couldn't hold back his emotion. He had whispered the story to a passing pilgrim. "There is a dog," he confided in a low voice. "He refuses to leave the Holy Father's tomb." An old woman knelt praying before the doors. She heard the story with reverence. She repeated it softly to the nun beside her. Tears shone in the nun's eyes. She, in turn, passed the story to an Irish bishop visiting the city. Like candle flames passed from hand to hand, the news traveled. It moved through the whole city, carried by whispers, tinged with wonder, touched by a shared sadness. In a small cafe 2 streets away, a barrister paused. He stopped wiping down tables. He told the story of the dog to a Spanish journalist. "He stays there day and night," the barrister said reverently. He glanced thoughtfully towards the basilica. They tried to move him, but he always comes back. Meanwhile, the basilica bells chimed 9 times. Hundreds of people had gathered silently on the pyres. There were no protests, no shouts, no demands. Only silence, only waiting. A collective pause, an inner pilgrimage of hearts. Those lucky enough to be inside the basilica watched quietly. They